You're welcome to Discovery with Monami. Today I'm going to be talking about. I gave it a title. I don't know why I gave it this title, but I said Fresh African in the UK. Like, I don't know where I got the title from, but yeah, basically it's about when I came into the UK first, right? Woo! It was great. The culture shock. Oof. It was chilling. Like, it was very, very funny. Actually, it wasn't really. I came to the UK at a pretty younger age, and when I came here, it was a very different environment for me. Everything was different. Like, immediately you step to the airport here, everything is different. The people are different, environment is different, the buildings are different, everything was different, and I was shocked. It was winter. Hey, imagine getting out of a plane from like an African country which is hot, right, to UK, a winter day. Like, it was February, so y'all know it was cold, right? I step out and I heard some woman screaming for her jacket because it was probably her first time here too. The food, it was shocking. I could speak English, of course, because I'm from an Anglophone country, and obviously I was in school, so I learned English. But when people were talking, I was looking at them like, what are you saying? Like, do you really want me to understand things? Going to the shop was one of the worst experiences you could ever put me through. Like, I don't want to go to the shop because it just felt so out of place. I felt so vulnerable that I lost all my confidence. I lost everything, every confidence I had in me. I was a very quiet child, so I struggled. I struggled a lot. There were times that I was like, oh Lord, this is crazy. I find it difficult to understand people. When I went to school, the treatment, the environment in the school was so different. The way students relate with the teachers were different. Even with students relating to themselves were very different. I mean, I'll say Africa because I'm just trying to generalize the situation. But when you are in Africa, right, everyone is just so open and nice. You go to school with like cousins and friends and siblings and stuff. But then here I am in a very different country, different environment, and there was no one for me to relate to. So it was very, very difficult. There was no one for me to really talk to. I went back into my shell even more. So making friends was some of the hardest thing. And up to now, I actually find it difficult to do that. I prefer people to approach me more than I approach people. Yeah. So when you go to school, right, you are the new girl from Africa, the African girl, and people come up to you and ask you straight questions like, can you speak English? I'm like, mate, we were in that same class. I passed. You are failing. I don't know what you want about speaking English. People ask you, oh, have you seen elephant before? Have you seen monkeys before? They ask you weird questions. I'm like, I'm from Africa. Don't mean I live in the jungle. You know, people ask you, oh, so the houses, how are your houses like? Like, some of the questions I got asked. I remember one time saying to someone, mate, my house in Africa is probably 3 times the house you live in. So what the hell are you on about? And it was an interesting experience at first, and then people start to bully you because you're, especially if you're quiet, you know, they start to pick on you. They think you can't relate very well. They think you don't understand what you're doing. So the bullying part was the difficult part because I had never really been bullied. It's daunting, especially when you don't have someone to run to. You're on your own. People are bullying you. It was very, very confusing. I struggled with that. So, well, I go into few fights, and then after that, I got into few fights, and then after that, the bullying just sort of stopped. Thank God for that. I came to England at a time that it was cool to be Jamaican. If you are Caribbean, we never even said Caribbean, we always said Jamaican. If you're Jamaican, you are on it. You're winning. But if you're African child, you ain't winning. So it made it a bit difficult for us young Africans to actually come out and say, oh, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Togo, I'm from South Africa, I'm from Nigeria, you can't get that, because then people even pick on you more. So mate, we were all Jamaicans. I can't speak like a Jamaican, but I was Jamaican. We were Jamaicans. When did things start to sort of change and sort of settle for me? When I made a few friends in school, people that I hung around with during lunchtime and stuff. So I sort of started integrating. I started like getting to know people and started embracing the culture, learning new things, started like behaving a bit more, a bit less African, whatever that is, and a bit more British, so to speak. So during that period when I started sort of integrating, I became more comfortable. It was okay for a while, but sometimes you're caught in there. You can't be yourself, because if you are yourself, you're too off, you're too fresh. You don't want to be the fresh girl. You want to be part of the group. You want to belong so badly that you want people to acknowledge you and say that actually, yeah, she's cool too. She's all right. Yeah, I might say things with a different accent or say things differently compared to you, different to you, but then I'm still cool. I can still be here. We can still roll together. When Sway, I don't know if you guys remember Sway, brought out his song called Following Fashion. I think that's what the name is. And he used the British flag and the Ghana flag in the music video. We're like, praise God. Finally, there's someone we can actually relate to. When you listen to that song, yeah, it's cool. Like, ooh, we are getting there. We're getting there. And then the World Cup 2010, I'm sure it is. Ghana went to the World Cup and Ghana did amazing. Kudos to them. Then we were like, praise God. Finally, we are coming. We are here now. Everyone was like, Africans are in. So then it became cool to be African again. Like, you don't have to be Jamaican. You can just say you're Ghanaian. That's fine. We're going to take you. That actually really did a lot for us, because all these young people who couldn't come out and say they're Africans came out. They started owning who they are. They started wearing the dashiki, became cool. Like, why don't you have dashiki? Everyone's going to have dashiki. Like, everything became cool. It became okay to represent your culture and represent who you are, which was a very great stepping stone for us, because then we could be ourselves. We couldn't be judged so much because people are sort of starting to understand us. Mainstream media were starting to represent us and present us to the world, that we don't have to be anything different than who we are, which was very, very great. It was a very great moment in our lives, right? Young Africans in Europe, it was a great moment in our lives. Not long after that, Afrobeat started kicking in. Afrobeat started coming, and it's like, then first when you go to a club, the only thing you're hearing is like dancehall and R&B. You're not going to hear you are not going to hear any Afrobeat. Who is going to play Afrobeat? Nobody. But all of a sudden, it was like Afrobeat half session, and you can dance to the Nigerian tunes, Ghanaian tunes, South Africans. Everything was up till now. We have come a very long way, and it has been difficult for especially people like us who grew up in the time where it didn't seem okay to be African because you were picked on. It didn't seem okay because you were made to feel uncomfortable. You were made to feel bad for yourself. But now we can really embrace our culture, embrace ourselves, and be who you are. Like now, I can rock this, like we're rocking braids, but not proudly. You know what I mean? We're rocking braids because our parents couldn't afford weave on for us. But now we are walking about with our afro hair, we are going about with our braids, we are going about wearing our African prints, and we are listening to African music loud. Like summertime, you hear Mr. Easy, you hear Shatta, you hear everyone, P Square, everyone playing loud in people's cars, and it's okay, it's fine. So it's very, very great time for us, and I'm so happy to be in this moment, because the people before us who didn't get the chance to be themselves, and we have had the opportunity, we had to go through a transition, but now we have the chance to actually speak our mother tongue and don't be judged for it. Like at first, you can't speak a different language other than English on public transport, because everyone will be looking at you like, What the hell? But now we can speak anything, we can live freely. We can talk about fufu on the trains, we can talk about jollof rice, we can do everything. And I'm so happy that even though it took us years, we are finally able to embrace our Africanism, finally able to embrace our culture and be as African as we want, and no one will walk up to us and disrespect us because of that. Even if people do, it's a very limited number of people. It's very few people who come out to disrespect you because you've got afro hair on. People like it. People want to see us be ourselves, and we are happier ourselves because we can be ourselves everywhere, and it's very, very exciting. So if you're African or you're from a different country or different continent, whatever, and you travel to out of your comfort zone, you've traveled out of your home to a different country, and you're going through this little friction, this confusion period, these struggles where you just have no idea how you're gonna come out, make friends, be happy, understand the culture, embrace the culture. Don't forget, I was once there, but now I'm very comfortable in my skin. I've embraced myself. The most important thing and advice I would say is don't let anyone make you feel small. Embrace who you are. Even when people don't want to know who you are, just let people know, I know myself, and that is the most important thing in all. So, we are here. Africa is here to stay. And the world is here to be one and embrace each other. So, it's good. This time is very good. Power to the people. Yeah, so if you like the video, like it, share, subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you here once again. And don't forget, you are discovering with Monami. Thank you.